Hey everyone, Andrew Reichert here, founder and CEO of Birgo. I'm here with Ash Allgaier, our Chief Investments and Operations Officer, and really excited for today. Last month, we did our annual investor event, and we showed a little bit about how we're thinking of AI and real estate. And unfortunately, it was a short amount of time that we were able to spend on it. So today we're going to dig a little bit deeper into it. We're going to actually show exactly how we're using tools all across our organization to automate, to simplify, and really to improve the way in which we're serving our investors, our residents, and our employees alike. So with that, Ash, what do you think we should do to kind of get things going here?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fascinating topic. Excited to spend a few minutes here with you kind of walking through. One of the things that we like to do is we are busy down the path, kind of figuring out what tech we're using, what tech we're not using, kind of where we want to go. I think for us, we start with the internal workforce. There are those who are excited. It's about empowering them. There are those who are neutral, and it's about getting them excited. And those who aren't, it's about finding out what the next step for them is.
Yeah.
But in a lot of cases, we'll either build internally or we'll pull in a third-party vendor to kind of help. And when we go with third-party vendors, we'll set up the whole roadshow. We'll understand who has what capabilities. But for us, it's always don't show me a video. Don't tell me what you're doing. Show me what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a really fun way to spend some of the time today.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. Thanks, Ash. And we're definitely going to show you guys exactly what we're doing. We're really focused on solving problems. Like that's really what we look at. It's where are the bottlenecks in our organization, where are the problems that we can solve. So anything else before we kind of start to jump in?
Yeah, no, I think let's jump in and we'll kind of see where the path takes us as we can kind of uncover some of the insights and some of the significant upside that some of the tools allow for.
Great. So we've got a handful of tools we're going to kind of walk through. First one is a chat bot that we built. So this is our internal intro web. We run on Google Workspace. So this is a Google Sites page, and then we built this chat bot. Can you just kind of talk through it?
Yeah, so let's start here. Great place to start. Primarily serving our property management function, also our asset management function as well. The reality here is with a team of our size and the assets and the residents that we're serving, the operations model runs 240 pages. Not a lot. It's a whole lot to get through. If you're trying to be out in the field, you're trying to take care of your residents.
Yeah, 240 pages.
Find an answer, you got to read 240 pages.
Yeah.
Not where we want our people to be. So what the chatbot does, and specifically fun for this was an internal build for us, is the chatbot has the operations manual behind it. It's a quick, hey, what's the question of the day? What are you trying to figure out to interface and serve your residents? Punch it into the chatbot, away you go. So I see you've already pulled it up. We've got some starting prompts in there, but let's do one specific. Let's say we're a property manager, we're coming in and we're wondering, I've got a prospective resident wondering if they can have a pit bull at the Bradford. Now, of course, our property manager could open up the operations manual, get to the right page, see what we can read, see if we can find anything property specific, or we can punch it into the chatbot. Chatbot tells us, here we go, American Pit Bull Terriers are prohibited, and it gets a little bit specific to that asset. Importantly, and we talk about AI, and everyone wants to get excited about AI, we don't hear near the hallucinations that we once heard about. And importantly, and we talk to our whole team about, it's not enough to just trust the chatbot. We've designed this tool. There's the link, takes you right to the page. Go find it in the operations manual. You're now one click, you're there, you verify the information, your decision's made, and we're 35 seconds in, I believe.
Yeah. And it looks like it's pulling from multiple sources. So you've got an operations manual and then this SOP. And like I just asked it, how can residents pay rent online? So I'm guessing one of the main ways this helps too is it's empowering property managers. Instead of them always need to ask their manager, ask the IT team, ask the asset management team, they can start to get those answers directly here.
That's exactly right. There's always the dialogue around, does generative AI replace the people component? And there's elements that we can discuss later in our time together. The reality here, though, is we're enabling the people component.
Yeah.
It's that people component, that team member, who's now not spending their time in the computer. They're in and out of the computer that much faster. They're right to their manager. They're right back to the resident, getting that real people-to-people interaction.
Yeah, that's great. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, great. Well, anything else on the chatbot that you wanted to talk through here?
No, that was fun. Let's pop over to Appfolio. So our internal property management system here, where we're effectively running the assets for us, feeds directly into our asset management and our property management functions, kind of the real language in between. So scrolling through our reporting function, Appfolio would be off-the-shelf solution for us, and they're doing a really, really good job for us. The one thing that we are regularly finding, though, is tech debt is real. We do have a lot of tools that we use that have been good to us. They're not always on the cutting edge of where we're trying to go in terms of the AI space. This might be a pretty good example of that. We have no deficiency of data and information. All available to us through here, and we can see some of the reports available to us, whether they be accounting reports, diagnostic reports, property management reports, AM reports, investor reports, all available to us here. Any member on our team can go in and can pull any time-bound balance sheet that they would like, and they can get it. They can separately come in and pull a leasing report, and they can separately come in and pull a forward leasing report or expense management or maintenance reports. The only fall down there is to do all of that and pull all of those reports together. We're now a dozen reports deep trying to understand the story of what's happening at the assets.
Yep. And I know from a data visualization standpoint, they've built this insights out, which I think starts to get us in the right direction. But we've kind of determined that since Appfolio has an API, we can get the data out of Appfolio and really have our own analytics done. And I think that's kind of the direction you've headed in.
Yeah, so let's talk about where that goes next. So we started with the reports, and let's think the reports are really just the presentation of data. It's not storytelling with data. It's just, boom, here's the data dump you asked for. I think where this visualization gets us to the next step to, okay, now I can give you all that data, and I can begin to tell the story of, okay, well, here's where you were last month, and here's where you were the month before that. Great. That'll make you a fine property manager, won't make you a cutting leading edge property manager or a cutting leading edge asset manager. So for us, that answer was MoveOn.ai. And we can head there now. So we've been on MoveOn, I think, about 2 months now, and we are really excited about their product. Similar RFP process here where we talked to a number of players in the industry. We got most excited about how hard this team was working and what they were creating. So for us, this would now be a solution that sits on top of our property management system utilized by both our PM and AM functions. So we'll spend some time here in Andrew's instance of it. Importantly enough, all of our team members will have their own defined instance of what MoveOn looks like for us. So if we jump through, Andrew, let's on the right side there, about halfway down through, let's toggle that property clicker and let's grab lofts at terrain. Let's do that and see where that takes us. Perfect. So that's the left side. That'll focus the insights. If we can also grab it.
Here? Oh, I'm sorry.
We'll get there. Within the properties tab, we'll get there. We'll get lofts at terrain too. So we'll focus too, and then we'll look at a specific property. So for us, what MoveOn is doing is sitting on top of Appfolio. Now we have one-stop shopping around. Give me the occupancy. Give me the run rate on the operating expenses. Give me the run rate on delinquency. Tell me how my utilities are tracking relative to the last month. All right here. What this means for our property managers and our asset managers, particularly our asset manager in this case, we now have all this information on tablets when we're going out and making our site visits. It is boom, it is right there. They know everything they know before they got on site. Now they have real-time information directly at our fingertips on our performance. Importantly, and where you jumped the gun on me on a second ago, on the left side, when we go down to the property specific, is where we're getting to insights. So if I think right side is reporting, where are you? The insights is where all of our team have programmed, this is what I'm focused on. I want to know what my occupancy is going to be 60 days from now, 90 days from now. I want to know where my OpEx is over budget. I want to know where I'm behind track on the CapEx schedule. MoveOn is is already bringing to us daily insights saying, hey, we noticed you previously focused on X. These 7 leases should probably have your eye, and really turning us from reactive to responsive real time. It's been super powerful for the team.
Love that.
Last place we can go, if we want to spend a little bit of time here, and we'll find out how built out Andrew has it. But we got 2 tabs up the top, reports and dashboards. Look at that. You're getting the daily report. We have our daily report individualized for every team member. So if that's a team member specifically focused on any single asset, it'll only populate with their assets. If it's an asset manager on the portfolio, there's all the green, yellow, reds across. And then finally, we have my dashboards set up as well. Within my dashboards, that makes sense. You don't have anything built out here. Personally, I've got about 3 assets. I'm very focused on the economic occupancy. So I've got my charts and graphs built out there that are updating real time every day and get a real time lens. That's exactly what's happening. All pushed out as opposed to me going in and finding that data on a daily basis.
Love that. That's awesome. And do you have the reports? You may have said this, but do they get automatically pushed out like through email or anything to the asset managers, property managers?
Yes, that is where we are operating now. There's one underlying report, but it's really a dashboard that then goes out and hits everyone's inbox on the morning. The way we're working on structuring, I say we're about 2 months in, we're still learning personalities. For a lot of folks, it is, okay, here's your monthly report, and then you'll get a weekly report to kind of give you your marching orders as to where you're focused, both in your 5-day action items as well as your 30-day action items.
Love it. And just from a behavioral standpoint, have you noticed any change of behavior? How long have we had this process in place? And maybe it's too soon to tell, but are you noticing any more proactivity?
100% proactivity. I think the biggest win for us now is significantly more productive touch points and meetings. So what that means, we started in Appfolio, and not to knock Appfolio, but we would have property managers doing their best to prepare for a meeting and coming with, this is what my rent roll looks like, to be sitting across the table from an asset manager says, well, I'm looking at your rent roll 90 days from now.
Yeah.
So, oh, well, let me go pull that report. Like, we are immediately, everyone's operating from the same dashboard. We're seeing the same challenges, and we're attacking them together.
Yeah, love it. Cool. You want to move on?
Yeah.
Move on from move on?
Well, let's do just that. And while we're moving in, so we will jump into a ChatGPT example now of something else that we're working towards. The important thing on the last one, we're finding this with a lot of our tech providers right now. We think we are building for the next 18 to 24 months. This landscape is changing so incredibly fast. Where we're looking right now, we're not trying to find that solution 5 years from now, because candidly, that doesn't exist and it's not commercially available.
Yeah.
So when we think about what these build-out time looks like, when we're talking to vendors, we're talking about there will be no upfront and integration costs. We're not doing it. You already have the APIs built, and you have 6 weeks to get this thing to us, to get your connections built, and then it's away we go. That's what the market's presenting, and that's absolutely where we need to be operating.
Yep, makes sense.
So here we'll move into a ChatGPT example. And the one thing I should say, what has me most excited right now is we are actively pursuing other options in both the property management space as it relates to text and voice activation when we're speaking with new prospective residents. A huge win coming for us there. We have that narrowed down to 3 finalists. And then in the acquisition space, we're narrowed down to 2 finalists where we can really 10x the amount of deals that we can get through with the same resources.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That acquisitions piece will play big. Where this one's going to go is here. We'll take an example of an asset going through the acquisitions process. We'll take it, we'll feed the rent roll into GPT and say, go ahead and get me the comps. So we've done some work. We, of course, already read a beautiful OM with some broker who says, this is everything you're going to get. We say, okay, let's go figure that out for ourselves. So go out, GPT. Here are the amenities that I'm offering. Pull in, and here's my rent roll. Please provide me market.
Yeah. I think one thing that's important here, too, so we kind of view using LLMs as like table stakes, right? Like everybody kind of has to be doing that. And so we give everybody an account for ChatGPT. You know, people are using Gemini within Google Workspace. But I think really how you use them and do training on them really matters. So not to steal your thunder, but here, doing the deep research functionality within ChatGPT, and I've talked to some of our teammates. They're like, "Oh, I didn't know that exists." So you cut ChatGPT loose. It takes maybe 20 minutes. And it comes back having scoured the web and done the deep research. And comps is just a really good example of where that's helpful. Like that is what people used to do. Like you would go and search apartments.com and look at the comps and say, okay, what are their amenities? And really AI can do that in an automated way, much faster than any human could.
Yeah, yeah. That is a great point. And then if I could even add 2 more points just kind of around prompt structuring. We have a couple team members, myself included, very focused on taking a devil's advocate approach with the GPT. So in some cases, we find some of those LLMs can be self-affirming if the way you're thinking, or if it can deduce in your language the type of answer that you're looking for.
Yep.
We've actually put in the wrong answer and say, challenge me on this. And it actually does a really nice job to kind of keep us grounded there.
I love that.
Which has been fun to kind of see where it takes us.
I think that's important for us as investment professionals. It's like you really need somebody to take the counter argument for your thesis or whatever you're arguing for. If it's just an echo chamber of everybody like, yes, that's a good idea. Like the last thing you want is ChatGPT to also say, yeah, you're brilliant, right? It's just not helpful.
Yeah. And then the only other thing that we have a lot of folks adding on the prompts is to give me the confidence level. Like you can program your LLM, in this case, ChatGPT. When you do return answers, give me your confidence level in that answer. And it gives you a little paragraph blurb on, this is my confidence level, this is why. More often than not, it will attribute the why to where it sourced the information from or how dated that information is, which is super helpful in examples like this.
Yeah, I love that. So when you do run deep research, just for everybody, I included a prompt here, gave it a role, find some comps, told it to think deeply, gave it the address and the uploaded the rent roll. It asked us questions. So when you do deep research, it always asks questions. Ask some really good questions. What are the condition amenity level? Any specific comps. But I think actually talking through the conversation here will be helpful. So we gave it a radius. We told it, what kind of properties to look at, gave it the rent roll. It found our listing online, says the exact property in Cleveland, knew exactly what we were talking about. Pulled a bunch of comps, gave the amenities and notes of those comps, and what are market rents, and provided some next steps. Now, interestingly, then our underwriting team, this was before we bought this asset, we actually did end up buying this asset, but they said, hey, what about Lake West Apartments? It was just another one that they felt like was a good comp. So we prompted ChatGPT. I said, what about that? It's like, upon further review, I do think it's a good idea. That's this echo chamber thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yes, you're right. I missed that one. So we looked at, Lakeview, got some recommendations here, asked for a side-by-side of current rents to market rent. But then we also said, hey, can you drop this into a spreadsheet? And then we actually gave it the list of comps that we had used in our underwriting. So for a studio, use these, 1-bedroom use these, 2-bedroom use these, just to give us another comparison point, which gave us a new Excel spreadsheet that we can then download. And then I just did this right before we hopped on the live stream. But the point that I wanted to make is, hey, now ChatGPT has done all this work. It's done the comps. So every quarter we can go in and just say, do it again. And it does it again. And you can see it's much faster this time because it's already done all of the hard work of identifying the comps, going to the websites. It just needs to go back to those websites and get the updated comps.
Yeah. That is a beautiful example, I think, of kind of what that journey looks like, where you start from here, build this, think about this, now come back with this, to where we are today in this particular example, where it's now a custom GPT or an AI agent running, and in many cases will soon be running unprovoked. Just return this to me every 3 months.
Yeah.
Lands in the inbox. We hook that up with Move On in our case and say, this is what the market's telling me. This is where I'm at. Where do I need to push rents?
Love it. You want to move on?
Absolutely.
All right. So wanted to kind of switch gears a little bit to investor relations. So we, raise capital from investors. We have about 250 or so investors, and most of our investors have come from referrals and word of mouth. And so they've been really good to us, and we have a great list of investors. So one of the things I was thinking, all of our investors are in HubSpot. HubSpot is a customer relationship management system, if you're not familiar. So that's where we manage our customers, which are investors. And one of the things I was thinking is, hey, pull my HubSpot data for all of our existing investors. Let me know the last time I engaged with them so that I know who I should reach out to and get coffee or lunch. I mean, one of the ways we get our insights, honestly, and help to form our theses and new funds is by talking to our investors. They're usually really successful people who have had successful exits from businesses, many entrepreneurs, who've just done really well. And so I love getting coffee with them, lunch with them, and hearing from them. And so this is really cool. So I have the HubSpot integration. You can see I've got a bunch of integrations here. Whoop and 8 Sleep, by the way. If you didn't catch it, I just posted yesterday. I got sick last week, and I built Whoop and 8 Sleep MCP servers. This is a little bit of a tangent, but I'll just show you guys. If you go to the developer view, you'll see I'm running MCP servers for my wearables, my Whoop and my 8 Sleep. And I just said, hey, why did I get sick? And it analyzed all my data and told me exactly when and how I got sick and how to prevent it in the future. So that has nothing to do with real estate.
Can I do a side note on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I come in one Monday morning, and Andrew and I are catching up on the weekend, and his feedback is he had a great weekend. He connected his Whoop to his Claude. I immediately had to go find some Google searching to find out what we were talking about.
Connected your Whoop to your Claude. Like, who are these people and why are you connecting them?
I'm there now. That's great.
You got it now, yeah. So anyway, I'm a geek with this stuff. I mess around running Python scripts, and not everybody's doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was fun. So anyway, I have a bunch of connections here. You can ignore Whoop and 8 Sleep, but super helpful from a business perspective to have HubSpot and Google Calendar and Gmail and Google Drive all in one place. I mean, you can just prompt Claude and ask it questions about your email. Like, think about that. Like, Gemini is okay, but Claude, you could say, hey, what am I spending 80% of my time on that's only 20% of my leverage? And let it think about that stuff. So here's just a really quick real estate example. Who are existing investors? Who haven't I engaged with for a while? And give me the list. Now, I'm not going to show you this because we want to protect our investor contact information, but you can see it ran a bunch of queries, pulling our existing LPs. It's saying, hey, I've pulled your 259 existing LP contacts. I'm going to now organize them in terms of who you haven't connected with in the longest time. I can then take that list and say, hey, it's been a while. Let's get lunch. So that's one use case from an investor relations standpoint for AI, and I think it's been really helpful. Anything you would add to that?
Yeah, no, I think that's spot on. It's same thing, making the people smarter and enabling the people in the team to have the right conversations.
And I was just going to show one other thing. We're getting towards the end of our time here, but N8N is a system for building an AI agent. So as you can see, I'm prompting ChatGPT. We're using Google Workspace. This is just an example of how you can automate an automation. Like, this is like automation squared. So let's just say now I had this list of our investors and maybe also folks who are about to be investors. And I've actually added that in here. We've got folks who have said, yep, I'm ready to be an investor. I'll be committing in Q1 or whatever. So we take our 259 investors plus maybe another 50 or so, kind of warm prospects, call them. And I say, hey, pull this existing sheet and do some research so that when I have lunch with these people, I know what's going on in their lives and their careers so that I can be prepared to do lunch with them. So if I'm going to do lunch with a bunch of people, it'd be good to see what's happening on their LinkedIn to kind of know how they're doing. So I drop this prompt in. It pulls 300. It knows there's 312 rows in this Google sheet. And what it's doing right now is it's running every single one of them through ChatGPT. I think that is so powerful. Honestly, it blows my mind. And then what it's going to do after it runs, you could see it's done 8 already, it's done 9, it's done 10. Could you imagine if I had to do all those prompts myself? It's going to then append the Google sheet with the information that it finds. So I could give it specific columns like, hey, how many kids do they have? What's happening in their business? And, tell me their most recent LinkedIn post. And it'll find that information. It'll add it to the Google sheet, and then I'll be super prepared to reach out to those folks. So we're a high-touch investor relations kind of culture. So this kind of stuff just gets me really excited. All right. Well, geez, that was a lot. I feel like we threw a lot at you guys. That was, 5, 6 tools that we're using, some of which we've built, some of which are bolt-on. Any kind of concluding comments from you, Ash?
Yeah, maybe some of the things that are kind of guiding us as we kind of go through this, like for us, it's always been about how do we, again, enable that people experience. We have asset management people who love the data, and we have people management people who love the people. How do we get our people focused on where their strengths are and where they're solid? A lot of our property management team, we don't want them sitting behind desks in front of computers. They're here to serve our residents. We want them out serving our residents. And the same thing, we think about the asset management, the acquisitions, the capital markets team. We're here to serve somebody else. We're either here to serve our investors or serve our brokers in one way or another. So how do we ease that access to the information to better enable us to serve? I think that's the biggest thing. We had the fun time of walking through a number of these tools. Like I think I just share with everyone, like as you're going through this, if someone tells you they're using AI, this world has changed so much in the last 6 months, let alone the last 3 years. If someone's telling you they're using AI, get underneath that. Like videos aren't sufficient anymore. Show me what you're doing. Let's see what you're doing, and let's talk about the impact you're having, not just what you're doing at that level.
Yeah, I love that. And that's why we wanted to do this for you all. We're transparent kind of an organization, so just wanted to show you what we're working on, how we're actually using the tools. Everyone's talking about AI. Honestly, it is to the point where, as Ash said, it's really hard to believe, what people are actually talking about. And so I think you just have to see it. So we wanted to show you guys a little bit about what we're doing. Well, thanks for coming along. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me or to Ash through LinkedIn. We're here to help and here to serve. So thanks for joining. We'll catch y'all next time.
Thank you.